Welcome everyone. Today I have Nandakumar, a wellness mentor. He has seen both sides of the coin. He's been in the corporate world and he has also been an entrepreneur himself. Now he has taken on the mantle of being a mentor and a coach, where he is focused on the welfare, the personal, mental, and spiritual welfare of a person. Correct, Nanda? Did I get that right?
Absolutely.
Awesome. So today he's here to talk to us about one very important part of life that all of us, including myself, have surely struggled at some point of time. That is balancing our work and career versus our personal life. So now the first question I have is that why is it important to balance work and life? I mean, all of us go through life anyways, right? So why do you think that it's important to strike this balance?
Okay, it's a good question, actually, Grenville. Thank you for inviting me for your show, and thank you to all your community members and audience who are listening to this session. Now, actually, I would say that I don't call it as work-life balance because it is not easy to balance both. And saying that I'm balancing work and life is a fallacy. Uh, Actually, I call it, and in fact, today the world also calls it as work-life integration. So you're integrating work and life rather than balancing work and life. So when you say work-life integration, there you are the same person who is going to office and you are the same person who is coming home.
Correct.
Okay, you're not a different person. The moment you wear your shoes, you don't become a different avatar.
Correct.
But the same person, the same feelings, the same emotions are there with you. So it's more about how you integrate your work and life rather than trying to look at work separately and life separately and balancing both. So my take on this subject is integrating work and life is very important.
I think that definitely makes a big difference to the way we approach this topic then. And because always right through my life, I've always been trying to strike a balance between the two, like work separate. And I've tried to separate my work out of my personal life. I've had my phone switched off. I've not taken calls in the evening. I really tried to create this sort of barrier, which of course, very unsuccessfully, because eventually one of the two creeps into both, right? And that has been the challenge. But what you say now makes a lot of sense. I mean, if I embrace both, and believe that I cannot do without one or the other, I learn to live with both aspects and then strive to strike a sort of balance while having them both as part of me. I think that makes a big, big difference in the approach. Then now I realize why you are in what you do, because you really are able to put it in the right perspective, which now opens my mind up. Honestly, that's great. So, okay, when we're saying about, okay, we want to balance or we want to have this integration, what are the challenges that you normally see people face in trying to have this what do you call a balanced sort of life, let's call it that way?
Yeah. See, one of the most important challenges is the work time is always more.
Correct.
Now, if you look at a typical employee, as we all work, somebody starts in Chennai. If you take, for example, somebody starts to work at, let's talk about pre-COVID times, and then we can talk about COVID also. You start from home at 8:30 for work, and then you come back home at 8:30.
Correct.
So it's almost 12 hours of time, which is actually can be called as work time. And during this time, if you see 8 hours, 12 hours gone for this particular part of your life, and then you spend about, let's say about 7 hours you sleep.
Correct.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that becomes 12 plus 7 is 19 hours.
Left with 5 hours.
You take 1 hour, you take out of that 5 hours, you take 1 hour for your brushing, your bath, everything, your morning duties and all that for yourself personally, maintenance.
Correct.
All you're left is 4 hours.
True.
Now that 4 hours is what you're left for your family.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the challenge actually. There is no time here. So, but it is important to understand that though work is taking so much of time, work is a subset of life.
True.
There has been times when I have told my wife that do not disturb my work activity because that is bread and butter.
Correct.
That's bread and butter. I know no compromise on that. All the other things about family, children, kids, everything should be compromised.
They can wait.
Work cannot get compromised. Then I realized what a big mistake I was doing in life. Now, the second important challenge here is lack of control, I would say. you do not have control over many things which happen in your office.
Right.
And nor you have control over many things that happens in your life. Okay, that's the second challenge. Now, when you don't have control, that's a reality, but you try to control it, you are under stress. So that's the second challenge what is there in this particular aspect of work-life integration. The third challenge is you have unsupportive relationships. You have a boss who keeps shouting at you, you have targets to meet, and they tell you that the most common language they talk about is, I need this as of yesterday.
Yeah.
That's our corporate language. And there you have challenges where people don't support you. They don't realize that if you have a problem, you have to take your kid to hospital. They are not willing to accept, your boss is not willing to give you a leave. And when you come home, you have an unsupportive family system also. You have, let's say that you have your old parents in your house. Now they are going to say that you're not spending time with me at all. Wife is going to say that you are completely always at work and you're not giving me time. And they talk about their side of the picture. So that is the third challenge which we might have in terms of integrating work and life. And the fourth biggest challenge is we may not have the skills to actually manage, maintain, and people management rather. Our communication skills, the way we handle people, emotions and all, we may not be having these skills. So these are the four main challenges which I see for any person on integrating work and life properly.
I'm sure, Nanda, all the viewers who are watching this, as well as myself, definitely relate to every single point you just said. I mean, you actually are saying things that we already know, but now it's bringing it into perspective of what we have put aside, saying, no, it can't be this, it can't be this. This is the reason. We start blaming all the factors that are out of our control and try to say, okay, this is the reason why it's like this. But as you rightly said, the fact is that sometimes people are not equipped to handle this balancing of the different facets is the truth. And we don't acknowledge this. We feel like, oh no, it's a macho sort of thing. We should say, no, I can do all it. It's all the other people who are at fault. And you go nowhere with that approach you take to that. So well said. But I think COVID has brought a sort of different, each person I've talked to about what's happened during COVID has having a different swing on this particular aspect. Yeah. What is your thoughts on the COVID that's taken an influence on our life? And of course, the work from
home. COVID has really changed the entire dimension of work-life integration, because now your office and home are in the same place. And I am seeing a lot of cases where, Grenville, there was one aspect of a housewife where once the husband leaves at 8:30 from the house, and until he comes back till 8:30, it was her space.
Correct.
She had her time.
Correct.
She could chit chat with her neighbors. She could spend some time with kids. And once the kids go to school, she had her personal space.
Right.
Now with the husband sitting at home, the children sitting at home, teaching them, doing online things, this man asking for tea, coffee, and all of this. Her personal space is lost completely. And there are many women who are not able to take it up properly. So that is becoming a challenge in terms of their relationships. Now, if the husband and wife, both of them are working, then there is a different kind of a challenge.
True.
Who is going to take care of the kids?
Correct.
The kids need online classes. They need to be coached. They have exams and so many things like that. So it's again a question of, you need to do this, I need to do this kind of an issue. So the challenges in terms of work life and people who are already working now, almost everyone says it is not about 12 hours of work. It is almost like 24 hours of work. True. Every time I'm suddenly called for a meeting, I'm suddenly called for a meetup, and I'm suddenly asked for a discussion or a client call, and all those things are completely unplanned. And so this has become even more challenging and very stressful to people. So definitely, there is a real challenge which is there and which is standing in front of everyone. It's like looking like a big, white elephant. Something which necessarily needs to be addressed by each and every person with a lot of clarity, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I totally relate to this. And as you said, I think that aspect, the reason I was laughing when you were talking about our wives, I mean, we don't appreciate the support structure we have at home when we were doing our jobs, because we went in the morning and came back in the evening, and we didn't realize the amount of work and effort that went into maintaining a house. Okay. Honestly, just the cleaning part, I moved from room to room and she has to clean one room to the other room. That itself was like, man, I wish I could have done at least cleaning one room. No, I mean, we've never thought of the effort they put in to maintain the house that we see when we come home every evening. But it brings in a sense of appreciation sometimes. But also, as you said, it strains the relationship much more than it did before, because everybody had got into a sort of lifestyle of doing things. And she, as you said, had taken for granted that this is my time. So I have this time to this time. Yes, she had things to do, but she also had the free time to manage things on her own time and her own preference. Now the dictates of the husband and children have taken over her whole life. Honestly, now she's 24/7 with the family, which was only on the weekends. So that, of course, is one challenge. And the second part that you said also is very true. The work that has come into home, I think some companies are taking it for granted that they should stretch the employee further. I mean, when you have different time zones, when you have different people coming in, I mean, they're taking it for granted that now that we've given you this luxury of working from home, you should accommodate things that they would have never expected to do if you're working in the office. So you're right. I mean, that's a big challenge, and that's something I think people would have to acknowledge is a problem to be able to fix it. That is really a very valid point, Nanda. Thank you for bringing that in perspective. So the obvious question that comes is that, okay, what could you give as some sort of guidelines to people who would to handle this overall situation? Yeah, I mean, there may not be immediate solutions, but at least some sort of guides to them is how could they manage this situation and at least have a semblance of a relationship and life.
See, very valid question, Grenville. So I would say the first thing is we should learn to stay organized, number one. Okay, now it is more important to separate what is work area in the house and what is the other aspects of it. Now, if it is your work table, let's say, you need to have that as your work table and you need to stay organized there. And you definitely have to manage your time. Now, between, let's say if it is a working, if the wife is also working, let's say, in that kind of a scenario, you need to have an agreement between both of you saying that, let's say for the first 2 hours, I'll take care of work, you take care of the kids. And then the next 2 hours, I'll take care of housework like cooking or washing vessels or whatever it is. And that time, no, you do your work. I'll take care of the house part or the kids part. And there should also be a time which should be given where kids are given their own free time to watch a movie or something, and both the husband and wife work together.
Correct.
So these are some of the things which they have to, in fact, talk, communicate with each other, and arrive at a kind of an understanding where it is not about you working, me not working. It is not that this is your this is your duty to cook and give it to me. No, they have a bigger challenge about washing clothes, putting it in. Even if you have all your washing machines and all that, it has to be dried, it has to be washed, and with rains coming, it is even more difficult. So between the partners, they definitely need to help each other. That's very important. So for which they need to manage their time. Correct. And another important thing is you need to take regular breaks. Now, sitting continuously in front of the system is really harming the health of most of the people.
Yes.
So definitely, they say a 20-minute break in between is very, very, very necessary for the eyes. And similarly, wearing when you're watching a screen for so long, you need to wear a glass which is a blue protect glass or a blue cut glasses, which actually prevents the ultraviolet radiation happening into the eyes. So that will help. And definitely, as you said, switching off, you definitely need to switch off. Your bosses and your managers should also know that there is a family time needed. And so I am shutting down. So there should always be a process of shutting down work at home. Let it be 6:30 or let it be 7 o'clock or whatever it is. Like if you take the Indian time, there should be a rolling down of shutters. Absolutely. And where that is clearly communicated to the office people also that, see, unless otherwise there is an emergency, this is going to be my me time or family time. So like taking a family out for a dinner or going out. So those are things which are definitely needed during this time. In order to manage, in order to manage that family life properly, because that's more important.
Correct. No, I think those are very, very valid points. And then I think a very helpful point is I feel which look very simple, but very difficult to achieve. Yeah, I mean, they were all very simple things that you would naturally think you could normally do, right? like balancing your time, that I take responsibility and my wife takes responsibility. It's easier said than done. If an unplanned meeting comes up, then what? Right? There are so many things that could
Correct.
go off, that could easily have a irritant part of irritation and cause that abrasive situation in the relationship. So yes, I think it puts
Absolutely.
more strain on relationships, and it's also put more emphasis on trying to understand people more. Right? I think that
See,
is where. Sorry,
that's why
go ahead.
it's more important for the no that's why it's more important today than ever that the husband and wife understand each other much more better, and they are able to share the difficulty. Now in situations where I have come across problems where the wife happens to be a housewife and the husband is working, the and the children have got their classes and all that, a little children who are in 12th standard or in college. Now there it's like the wife is not able to actually understand why these people are always working. It looks like they are always sitting in front of a system, and I am like a servant doing jobs for them, bringing them tea, bringing them coffee, and all that, like a servant maid.
Yeah,
This is again more challenging. So it is definitely responsibility of the working partners, whether it is the male or the female, to take breaks off and no give some time to the spouse, so that no their relationship is not jeopardized. Now if this relation, as I said, life is more important than work.
correct.
Work is a subset of life, and so if that is not balanced, a lot of psychological issues and relationship issues will come. So that's very important.
I mean, I absolutely agree. I think they will nail the issue. I think is to actually strive to have that responsibility to take on that discussion and sit down and have a conversation, saying, "This is how it is at office, which maybe you've not seen till now," and the lady also sit down there saying, "This is all I do at home, which you've not seen," and sort of create that expectation of what is the relationship now compared to what it was pre-COVID or pre-work from home situation. Which brings up the next point also, and that is children, okay, and young adults, okay. There was again a different type of lifestyle. They could go out, they could have their friends, they could socialize, and they are now 24/7 at home. Okay, I have two grown children, and luckily I've got separate rooms for them, so they have their own personal space. But in people who do not have that facility where they share common spaces, that has become a huge challenge to many families that I know of, where there are children rebelling. They are going out even
Absolutely.
during the COVID time. I've had parents talk to me saying that this guy has gone out when he may be arrested because there was that time a shutdown. The guy was saying, I've had it. I mean, I just
Mm-hmm.
stay at home like this for months on end. I've got to see my friends. I've got to. So that is another challenge that is there as well, right? So how do the parents as well as how do the children manage that situation?
No, that is why it is again so very important for parents today. That's what we were doing in our house. We were having something called as a family time,
Okay.
wherein, like for example, even if it was like breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and these kind of times, and we also used to find times to sit and watch a movie together. So we used to pull the child, our son, into a conversation. We
Mm.
sit and spend quality time with them so that they don't feel no lost out, though they keep talking to their friends on phone and all that, or they want to go out and they are unable to go earlier. We used to spend the time with them in order to understand where they are coming from. We
Correct.
used to pull them into our loop and see this is what the family is, this is how work. And we also used to make them work at home, do certain things, like if the
Right.
no if the clothes are there, putting them onto drying them on the balcony, and those kind of works, which no make them also understand that this family unit is very important. They say no, family with prays together stays together. So like that, you need to have certain times for yourself. Maybe it's your dinner time, it's your lunch time, it's your prayer time, and also teach them values of what hardship and difficulties of life is.
Correct.
Why do they want to go out? Because most of the time, I know some of the children with whom I counsel, they say there is nobody to listen to me.
Correct.
That's why I'm talking to somebody. When I talk to my parents, they always put me off. They
Mm.
ask me to go study this, do this, or do up the room and all those things. I don't have anybody to listen to me. And if the parents can spend some time to listen to their children, lots of things they can uncover and discover.
I mean, that Nanda
So
is
now,
sorry. Please go ahead.
No, now like things are a little bit more flexible. So you see people going around and having their time also, which I don't know. It's really unavoidable, but they should take all the precautions which are needed, like wearing masks, social distancing, and all that.
Yeah.
And when they come home, what we say is we ensure that he straight away goes, takes a bath, washes his hand, and then only all those kinds of precautions minimum.
No, again, and I think a lot of the points you said, I'm so glad that I actually followed them. So I'm very proud of myself that I've actually done this. That talking to you reflects what all we did during the COVID times. Like when I knew they were idle, okay, there's only so much time you can spend on the computer and there's only so much television you can watch. So boredom sets in and that tends to bring a lot of things into kids. So one thing which we did is we gave them specific responsibilities, okay, like buying the groceries. We said, okay, you guys are the young guys with more immunity. You can be the ones that are going to go out and come back. So we limited the interaction with outside. When the windows were there to shop, we sent one son on this day and another son on another day saying, you would buy this, and come. So that they had a sort of thing that they know, okay, this is my duty to do. And they knew they were helping the family, which brought a sort of feeling of accomplishment, which they would have had at college or when they were doing their courses and stuff. But luckily, after the college opened up and the online classes started, a certain time was taken up with the classes, which is good, right? But the biggest issue was the social interaction, which there definitely was a pull. And as you said, I fixed, like, for example, dinner time, saying that we are going to spend 15 minutes having a relaxed dinner, sit down together. And then after dinner, we have a prayer, as we normally used to do even before, but we sit down and talk at least for 10 minutes before the prayer time. So that like half an hour of a day, from the time you start eating your dinner till you go to bed, is like spent together and talking totally no fixed agenda, just gentle chit chat, talking of old stories when they were young and talking about the future and like chit chat, those sort of things that pulling each other's legs, which really brought a bigger bond. I see that my children more relaxed with us as parents, which in a way I should thank COVID, because when they were in college, they were doing the same thing. They were going morning 6 o'clock and coming home 8 o'clock dead tired. They would come, have a bath, eat and sleep. So in a way, it created the time to actually improve the relationship to a certain extent. So there was, at least in our family, it turned that way luckily, and thank God, and my children, I think they cooperated very well and it turned out good. So I just thought I should add on my story because it so much resonated with what you were saying.
Absolutely. That's it's good to hear that.
So just to summarize this whole thing. So could you state the advantages of having this integration that you said, Nanda, at the beginning? How do you think that integrating life would really make it overall better experience and a better, I think it would improve things like productivity and stuff, but what in your thoughts are on the advantages of having this proper integration and the balance in our life?
See, today, if maybe I'll put it in this way. In today's world, as I said, I told that time, we are almost, we are having only 4 hours for the family, and we are almost spending the major part of our life working. Okay. And if you see today, an youngster starts working at around 22 years of age, and today the working age is still about 75.
Correct.
So a major part of your life is spent on work. Yes. And now we are all, that the fundamental requirement, whatever we are chasing in life, is all ultimately to be happy in life, right? Yeah. We want to be happy in life. We want to be healthy. That's why we are working, we are earning money and all that. But ultimately, our ultimate objective is to be happy in life. True. So if you want to be happy in life, you need to be happy in your work environment. Absolutely. I always tell the story, how much of time you would have taken to choose a life partner. You see all the matrimonials, you do all the research, you spend maybe some 1 year to identify the right kind of a person to marry. And with all the research and things, ultimately you just have 4 hours to spend with her. But what is the kind of research you do to find the right job? Absolutely. To find the right company? Are you working in a job which you are passionate about? Now, in our time, let's say 30 years back, that was not there. We didn't have the luxury. But today, that luxury of choosing the kind of work you need to do is there. So I'll always suggest one important thing in order to integrate work and life. What you need to do is first do the job you like doing. Choose what you're passionate about and make a profession of your passion. That's the first important thing, what I would say. The second important thing is, don't bring your work ego home.
That's true.
Don't bring your work ego, which means when you're working, you're achieving a lot of things and you've done this, you're gone, you've flown to many countries and all that. You bring that kind of a same feel at home and you expect other people to listen to you.
True.
So we need to separate very clearly both there. And it's also important to demarcate and cut. What I used to do is once I come back from office, the first thing I used to do was to have a bath. And that physical aspect of taking a bath was removing the office coat and wearing the family coat.
That's really well said.
So there should be something where you demarcate and say, no, okay, office the office hat is removed and now it is the family hat or whatever it is. So and one very good thing which I liked was Brian Dyson, the ex-president of Coca-Cola.
Mm-hmm.
In one of his speeches, he said, in life, you're all juggling with 5 balls. Okay, the first ball is called work. The second ball is called family. The third ball is called health. The fourth is friends. And the fifth is spirit.
Okay.
Okay, now the work ball is made of rubber.
Okay.
If it falls down, it can always bounce back.
Yeah.
But all the other balls are made of glass.
Okay.
If they fall down, they will either crack or break.
Wow.
So it's important for us to understand. It is important for us to understand that these 5 balls have to be the other 4 balls of health, family, friends, and the spirit is very, very important than the ball which is made of rubber. And that can always be, if it can always be adjusted and accommodated to look at life as a bigger picture rather than looking at work as the bigger part and the life as a subset. So this was I felt very impressed by that statement. The work ball is made of rubber, so it will always bounce back. So you have options there. So you can take a more relaxed view, you can make a more flexible view in terms of that. And once you make your passion your profession, then you're going to love doing that and you're going to be happy, which means that the family will also be happy and you will have the time for both family and work. That's how I would say that integrating work and life should happen.
Oh, I
think I answered your question. I don't know.
Absolutely. And actually, you said it even better than the question I asked. I mean, the way you put the example of the balls, I mean, we actually do the opposite, right? We treat our job like a ball of glass. And we treat the rest like balls that they can always bounce back. It's actually totally opposite of actually how we should prioritize things in life. And that, I think to me at least, it resonates so much in my mind on how we should be handling our different parts of our life. And I think that would be the awesome way to end this topic. So thank you, Nanda, so much. I mean, I've learned so much in this half-an-hour session that I think I would have learned in a whole day seminar or a whole course with somebody. So for this time that you spent, I really thank you and really appreciate these valuable comments. And for the very nice way you said it, that at least, I can't think of the right word, but the way you put it, that I really was able to absorb and relate to it very much. So thank you so much for your time, Nanda, and thank you for coming on this show.
Thank you so much, Grenville. It is always nice talking to you. And I also enjoyed the session and talking about this. It's always nice to share these kind of things with others. And thank you so much for your probing questions.
Oh, my pleasure. So thank you, Nanda. Thank you, everyone who watched this live. And for those who will be watching the recording, please leave your questions in the comment box. Since we don't have time to take questions this time, we will answer you back I will forward it to Nanda and get the answers back and relay it back to you on my Facebook page. Thank you so much for your time and thank you for viewing this video. Take care and have a good night.
Thank you so much, everyone. And thank you, Grenville.